What up? Welcome back to the channel. I'm Mode IJ and we are locked in. It is episode 6 of Ready to Love. And ladies, we got the power this week. Last week we added 2 new people to the show. We also got rid of 2 gentlemen. Shout out to Tyrone and Corey. But now it's our turn to get rid of those that we don't think are ready to love. But first off, shout out to the notification gang. If you're new to the channel, you want to be a part of it, hit your subscribe button, turn on your notification bell so you get something every time I upload. Hit that like button. It's the easiest thing you can do. Now, the men have the power, and we need to figure out which one of these ladies, and I kind of got an idea who we need to get rid of, but we need to figure out who's really ready to love and who needs to go home because they aren't ready to love. This is episode 6 of Ready to Love. Tommy brings in all the brothers to the gentleman lounge and he's just letting them get comfortable. Now we know that this is Shawn's first time in here, so they're welcoming him and they're letting them know this is what we do in here. Now we all know each one of them, they have an MVP. They have that number 1 girl on their roster that they're pursuing, but Tommy wants them to slow down a little, find someone else that you feel deserves a second chance and give them a chance. Now I know this is a game show. In real life, I'm not giving someone a second chance if I'm working on my first chance with somebody else. That's most important to me, that first chance. They should have got it right the first time. What they say? First impressions. Walter is meeting up with Zadia. Now, his number 1 was Sabrina, but we know that's not what we're doing this week. We got to give someone else a second chance. Mainly, you want to go after someone you didn't really get an opportunity with. So this would be like your second chance. Now, when they get in there, they have a little connection. They start talking about what they like doing as far as outdoor adventures. Walter says he goes camping and she says, oh, we do that once a year also. He mentions that he's close with family and she's saying, how does all this transition into your family? Like what you doing the camping, do you think that makes your relationship with your family better? And he's ultimately saying, yeah, it does. Walter brings up his previous wife. We know that she passed away. And he was just saying how his friends, when he was dating her, they were telling him that's a good woman. You don't want to mess that up. Now she's hearing this and she's liking it because he's opening up and being vulnerable to her. And that's what she really wants to see. What's really on the inside of him. Now they get to talking about toes and he's giving off colors. Now, come on, guys. The white toes. That's all we need. Just simple, ladies. Just a simple white. You know what I'm saying? That's all you need. Shawn and Sabrina, they go out on a date. Now, they're playing around, playing with the chopsticks. She's trying to teach them Korean, and they're having a good time. But when it all comes down to it, we got to talk about this love situation, and he wants to know, is she willing to have kids after her 9-year-old daughter? And she's saying no. We know that Shawn wants to have kids. So she's saying if she sees a red flag, even if it's pink, she's running away from it because she doesn't want to get played. Well, in this case, the red flag is you from his standpoint. When he's looking at you, he wants to have kids and you're ready to love a man, but you don't want to have kids. So that's a red flag on him. But he's at least honest with her and he's telling her he's attracted to her and he wants to do another date with her because maybe she can change his mind on things. But at least he's willing to be there. Now you see him toasting because they're toasting to each other, to get to know each other and to being goofy. But Shawn, he's a man. He even said, I used to waste people's time, but I don't do that anymore. So he's being direct with what he wants. Now, she may not be the one because he does want kids, but we'll have to see. Phil and Aisha, they get their date, and it's one of the outside ones. You know what I'm saying? We got the flowers out. We got a nice little breeze. We got the section to ourselves, some champagne. We got some lobster. And of course, Aisha says she likes to cook, and lobster is one of her favorite things to make. But we got to dig deeper because we want to know more about each other, especially if we haven't had any one-on-one dates. Now, they do mention that they talked on the phone, and she says Phil has found that vulnerable spot within her life. Now, he's asking her, does she want to have more kids? Because he heard that maybe she doesn't. But the reason she says she's iffy on it, because she says she almost lost both of her kids during both of her pregnancies, and she lost a kid. I don't know when it was, but she lost one. Now, she starts crying and getting emotional because she feels like she doesn't want to be a failure to her next husband if she isn't able to carry kids because her body isn't allowing her to carry them properly. So she starts breaking down and Phil is there to comfort her. Naeem and Camille meet up. Now, this is the first person that's getting a one-on-one with Camille outside of Cornelius because, she be having him on lockdown, and I know he's glad he doesn't have to deal with her this week. Now, when they get there, they sit down, and she's talking about, oh, feed me some food. So he gives her some oyster, and she's talking about, he fed me oyster. You asked him to feed you. And then she talking about, well, you wasn't going to get no coochie when they told her that it was an aphrodisiac. Even Cornelius ain't getting none. You ain't giving it up to nobody. And I'm sure Naeem doesn't want none. Now she's talking about she can see them as being, just friends. And she's over here stroking. Hey, stop touching that wig and just chill and listen to this man. He came out. He's wasting his time to talk to you. And you want kids? How many? Well, my son is my number one. What is your role gonna be like? You just asked me, do I want kids? I understand that your son is your number one. But this just deters men away from even talking to her. Naeem, you weren't wrong with your judgment when you said you felt like she wasn't approachable. It's just how she's acting. And I'm not making this up, people. We're watching this together. Y'all see what I see. And it's, hey, stroking. Hey, stop touching that. We get it. It's long hair. But you going to have a conversation with this man and quit trying to cut off what he's saying? Let me be 100% honest with y'all. I promise you, this date wouldn't have went on this long. I would have got up and left. She just comes out of nowhere. What's your finances? What was it looking like? And even he's like, that's a red flag. We know she has massive debt. You can't, hey, ladies, this is a prime example of who not to be. We know she's broke. She's bringing in money, but she's in debt. So she's trying to find somebody that's going to take care of her and her kid and help pay off her debt. And he's sitting there like, man, what? Hey, if she isn't gone this week, there's a real problem here, because she shouldn't be on this show. They really need to vet these people. They need to give them fake dates before they get on here so we can see how they really act. But this lady should not be on this show. And whoever her baby father is, I see why you left. I hope you're taking care of your kid though, but I can see why you left. Look at Naeem's face. He's looking like, man, what? And I'm going to say it for him because he's not going to say it. You ain't bad enough to be acting like this. Come on now. You're an attractive woman, but you're not top tier. I'm not the best looking guy, and I know what I can and can't do. But the way you acting, it's unacceptable as a woman, especially a 42-year-old woman. I'm not going to say nothing else because I know people going to get upset, but I'm just voicing my opinion. All right, we got us a little double date. We're going out to swingers. We about to change the scenery from the little date we had. Now we're going to liven it up a little bit. Some miniature golf. Hey, why not? Frank and Muming, they're on a double date with Sabrina and Dante. Everybody splits up and they get to have their one-on-one time. Now, Muming, she says she's had her eye on Frank. She just never got a chance to talk to him. We know Frank had his eye on Aisha, and he said some people stood out. But these two, they're actually bonded. He said they talk to each other on a day-to-day basis. So for them, this is good that they're actually getting this. And then she says, as far as his vision, it's the man leading and the woman is supposed to follow her man. And she said, hey, I'm ready to get on that ride. So we're going to see where this goes. This may be a new connection we didn't know we had. Sabrina and Dante, they're on the date. They got their one-on-one time. We know Sabrina has a 9-year-old daughter, and she's saying, hey, this is my number one. My baby's father, he isn't around. He isn't dealing with him. Hey, man, come back and take care of your kids, brother. But Dante, he has 3 kids also by 3 different women. He says he's not a drama guy, and he takes care of his kids. So whether you got 1 baby mama, 2, 3, 4, I prefer that people get married before they carry. But if not, at least take care of your kids. And Dante, he's doing that. He says there's no drama. All his kids are good. So that's a positive. Now that we got that out the way, he talking about you trouble. She talking about, really? It's good trouble. Dante don't need no more trouble. Not right now, at least. Let Dante chill for a little bit. He don't need no more trouble. Frank has to ask the serious questions. Not about marriage, but shoot, are you really not having sex till marriage? Because I gotta have me some sex. I just wanted to clarify where you was at. And she's saying, yeah, having sex is easy. I want to be able to connect with you outside of that. And you got to respect that. There are women like that. I mean, most of us, we probably not going to stick around for that, especially at this age. But if that's what you want to do, then we respect, we still hang out. We still be cool. You can still be, intimate with them as far as kissing and stuff. And it doesn't have to be sexual. But just being honest, about 95, 98% of men at this age, they're probably not going to be trying to wait till marriage for sex. Shawn and Tacia, they actually had their one-on-one date. Now, she's talking about this might not really be a curveball. She's been seeing Shawn and, hey, let's see where it goes. Now, he's starting off right. He gets her a girly drink, and that's what she likes. Now they're in there, they're talking. She says she's a spiritual and religious person, and he's religious also. He's a Black Baptist. And they were saying, yeah, that's different than a regular Baptist. Yeah, if you go to those churches, believe it, it is. Now they start talking, and she's saying, hey, it's time. I'm still, you know what I'm saying, I want to be a mother, you know, start my own little nest. And he's saying, I got the energy for that, and that's what I'm looking forward to. She's also saying her mom wanted, you know what I'm saying, her mom is waiting on them. So you can tell that she's close with her mom. You at least, I mean, that could go both ways. You know, the mom could be good, you know what I'm saying, she could be cool and be there and support her, but then she could be the best friend to the daughter, and she could be all on you, Shawn. And she starts talking about the age difference. Like, oh, we're in 2 different generations. He's like, well, hey, you know, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? We both adults. You 30 something, I'm 40 something. Hey, at this point, hey, we do what we got to do, right? Cornelius gets a date outside of Camille. He ain't got to worry about turning around and her staring at him, or crying and calling him stupid in the country bumpkin. Now, he does say she's an attractive woman and Camille knows what she wants. But he also wants to, you know, get to know Courtney a little bit because, you know, she can match his, you know what I'm saying, his swag. Now they're sitting here and he's drinking a little bit because they're doing rum tasting. And he's like, shoot, I might need a designated driver. She like, oh, so you want me to take you home? I would have responded with, nope, I'm going home with you. Yeah, that's what you were supposed to respond with, Cornelius. But it is what it is. Now he's talking to her and he says that she's younger than him, but he's asking a question that needs to be asked. Do you feel that you have all of that out of your system? That's the question we need to know. The party life, you can go out every now and then, but you don't need to be out all the time. Is it actually out of your system, Courtney? Now she's saying it's all out of her system. He's like, hey, let's just, you know what I'm saying, if I was to say, let's wait a second, pump the brakes, you know what I'm saying? Would you be okay with that? She's like, wait, what is it really a second or is it an extended thing? Now, he brings up her saying she wanted to have sex before marriage. Now, he says he's a Christian through and through. I don't know why people do this to themselves, but if you're a Christian, then you wouldn't be drinking this alcohol. Let's just get that straight right now. So you are a Christian, but you're not all the way through because you're drinking alcohol. But that's neither here nor there. I just hate when I see people say that. Now, he's like, I don't, you know what I'm saying? I want to wait because that'll give us something to look forward to. Now, she's a younger woman, 30 years old. I don't know what her, you know what I'm saying, what her past life is like, but she's going to probably want some, Cornelius, especially if she's attracted to you. Now, Courtney telling him, hey, are you ready to deal with a boss? I would say, oh, you a boss? How many employees do you have? You a CEO? What kind of boss are you? But he's saying with her not being willing to wait, you see the face, he might not be able to do this with her because he really wants to wait. And you really got to respect what somebody wants to do. Tommy brings in a gentleman, and we got to talk about who we feeling and also who we aren't feeling, because it's that time of the evening where we get rid of somebody. Now, I don't know if we're going to do 2 women this week because we did 2 gentlemen, but hopefully we do to even it out. Let's see. Now, one of the people they're saying they get friend vibes from is Tacia. Now, she has, I will say, I applaud her for this. From the first couple of episodes where it was just all about Tacia, at least we seen with Shine, she's, you know, behind the scenes and with other people, she's probably actually opening up to him and talking to him. We're just catching the scenes of her just talking about herself and how she's running her business and she's successful. But the gentlemen are still saying they're kind of getting a friend vibe from her. Shawn is also saying he didn't get a vibe with Camille. Now, we hear black women say, oh, don't say we're not approachable. Don't say we have attitudes that makes us look bad. But everything we've seen Camille do is exactly what they're explaining. When Shawn first sat down with her at the pool, she screw face. When Naeem was talking to her at the table, she playing with her hair. She turned around making faces like, we're trying to have a conversation with you. We want to give you an opportunity, but you're blocking these chances. So they don't have a connection with her, and she might be on a chopping block tonight. Cornelius, on the other hand, he's liking what Camille is on. And he's like, it's kind of hard hearing the other gentlemen say that because he hasn't really built a connection with anyone outside of Camille. This may be because she was a little controlling of him, but at the same time, he might just like that. Someone that's going to keep him on track well with what she wants, because she's not letting him do what he really wants to do. Now, we're going to see if he can talk to the gentleman and see if they can keep her, but we need to go and see who's on the chopping block. The first woman on the chopping block tonight is, in fact, Miss Camille, and Dante's the one that's going to have to tell her if she's ready for love or ready to go. And the next woman is Courtney, and they're gonna have Walter come and do it. Now I don't know how these dates are set up. Like, do they call him, hey, we have a date for you set up? Do they tell him we have an elimination date for you, or do they just set it up as it's a regular date? Because I'd want to know if it's an elimination date. I might not even show up. Nah. Nah, but I don't know how they do it. That is interesting to find out. Now, Camille's there. Normally, she is very talkative. And he's sitting here with her like, okay, why are you being quiet? And usually you talk and explain whatever you have to do. But she's talking about, could have been a Zoom call. This is exactly what the gentlemen were saying. Whenever someone outside of Cornelius tried to talk to you, this is what you get. And even when Cornelius is talking to her, it's still kind of like degrading and belittling the man. But we're going to see who got to go home, though. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that right now. Walter's over here giving Courtney the business. And he's saying, you're not giving the effort to any of the gentlemen. Now, she's all on Cornelius. Whenever we see her, hand on thigh, hand on his back, we like, dang, this dude Cornelius, he on Camille, but you all on him. You putting us in the friend zone. And he's telling her, I'm not in the game according to you. So that means I'm in the friend zone, and I'm not just going to be here as a utility, meaning you're not going to be able to use me whenever you need to. Like in this case, okay, now you're feeling me because you potentially getting eliminated. And she's like, well, we doing participation? He's like, no. We about to get to this elimination. Ain't no participation. It's an elimination. Now it's on Camille, and they tell her that she's not ready to go home yet. So she's actually staying. And what did she say? The first thing she said was, I was getting ready to say F you. If I'm Dante, I'm going back to Tommy. I already told y'all last week, Tommy, we can't have this woman on here. She's very disrespectful, bro. Like, we can't have her on here because this is what's going to make somebody flip out on her. Not saying put their hands on her, but they're going to verbally assault her because she's talking reckless. She's about to say F you to a man that's letting her know that we collectively told Tommy that you were ready to go home. That is some messed up stuff there. She talking about some of the men are hating on me. She would have said F me. I would have. Y'all know me. I'm cool. I'm laid back. I don't even talk like that. But I promise you, I would not get disrespected like that. And if someone says F you to me, I guarantee you, her feelings would be hurt. Unfortunately for Courtney, it's time to go. And I always say, Courtney, hit me up on Instagram. You know, I'm not going to eliminate you. We go out on a couple of dates. You have fun, do your thing. I don't mind. Call me. But it's time for Courtney to go home. All right, there you go. Ready to Love, episode 6. We're halfway through the season. I want to know, do you think that Courtney was the right one to go home out of all of the women? Let me know what you guys think. I'm Mo.J. If you like the content on the channel, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching. I'm out.
Jimmy on a beat, boy.